people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people
Hello, everyone. Okay, let's do like some quick attendance. Not really, but all right. Give a holler if you are from Blair. Here we go. Yeah. All right. AU. What other schools have showed up? ECC. No one yet. Okay, we got one. Okay. Okay, maybe there are people on the way. Okay. What other schools? Just shout it out. Georgetown. All right. Jefferson. Okay, that's TJ Jefferson. Okay. Anyone else? Shout it out. Does anybody adult support you? Let's all give a holler. There we go. Some participation. We love the support. Thank you for coming out here. All right. Well, more people are going to start rolling in.
Sorry,
And we're very excited to have you here. Thank you all for
Sorry, Ford, F-O-R-D.
Sorry.
Fischer, F-I-S-C-H-E-R. Yep, at news, the number 2, share, S-H-A-R-E.
Okay, what is your name?
Ford Fischer.
Okay. I'm Maddie. I'm the best friend. Let me know if you have any questions.
This is me.
Or want to talk to anyone. Okay, perfect.
Stronghold shelter. Going out of being my grandfathers. Rescue from every intrepid enemy. Protecting from false accusations of any deadly curses. Massive arms are wrapped around you, protecting you from all that that's the high. Arms are meant to listen to shit you are. Never worry about attack your white horse tonight. You have to fear spirit of darkness coming against you. You have to fear of me. Whether by night or by day. By day shall not trouble. When the powers of evil march against you. Every time in disaster, thousands and thousands may kill, remain unscathed and unharmed. The spectator is given to perish in judgment. They'll be paid back for what they've done. We live our lives within the shadow of God Most High. The secret hiding place will always be sheltered from harm. How then can evil prevail against us with disease and pestilence? God sends angels with special orders to protect you wherever you go. Defend you from all harm. You walk into a trap, I'll be there for you. Evil comes stumbling. Evil walk unharmed.
Hey guys, if anyone else needs any signs, we still have quite a few more over here. Come grab one, they're beautiful. Some people put a lot of work into these, so don't be shy. Signs are over here if you're looking for them, right where I'm standing. Thank you.
Enjoy their hearts, benefits, blessings, and future. Keep his words and commands to be the governor, be the provider, enjoy, parents, stay just in the heart, life is good.
Planet Earth is under attack!
can't tell you where to put it because you are in charge here, and I can get it turned on for you. Okay. Got it. All right. You're gonna want to undo this so that remember, it's not a movie.
Hey guys, there are 3 more signs up here. If you don't have a sign, come please get a sign. Thank you.
It'll get a lot louder as soon as you're not behind it, so I don't want to play really loud. Over there, I'll put it on and turn it up.
I don't even, whether it's, whatever it is, because I could say the same thing.
Start checking.
I didn't wear a
Mic
t-shirt.
check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What do we want? Climate justice. What do we want now? What do we want? Climate justice.
Whichever part I could do. So,
Make it louder. Keep going, Sophie.
real bad categories.
Check, mic check, mic check.
Keep going, Sophie.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. Okay, awesome. A little louder maybe, but I'm also not in front of it, so. Okay. Cool. Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming out. It is amazing to see so many beautiful faces, so much power in this space. I am so honored to be here with all of you. Woo! Our team has spent so much time and so much effort putting this event together. I hope that this event is inspiring, and we're building an amazing movement, and I'm so glad to have you as a part of it. Just a few housekeeping things before we start. I do want to say that there are a lot of press here. Thank you so much. If press want to speak to you, please come and talk to us. We would love to have the press speak to our press coordinator so we can get them hooked in with one of our spokespeople. We just want to make sure also if you speak to press that they are not, right-wing media who want to manipulate you into a cool soundbite. So if you do want to speak to press, we ask that you just talk to one of the organizers. You can find me in my vest, someone else in their vest. We also have these cool t-shirts on if you want to find us, or a marshal with an armband, and they can direct you to the right place. If you see any counter-protesters, we have heard word that they may be around. Just ignore them, just keep walking. We do not want to interact with them. We do not want to give them any attention. They do not deserve our time or energy. And if the police try to talk to you, we will direct them to our police liaison, who is Vincent, who is in a vest like mine and around here somewhere. So if the police try to talk to you, please don't talk to them. Please direct them to Vincent or somebody else in a vest or with an organizer shirt, or a marshal if you can't find us. This is all for your safety, all for the safety of the event. We're just here to make this as good of an experience as possible. I see our friends still rolling in. Thank you so much for coming out. I know some of you have traveled kind of a ways to get here from all around the DMV, so that's super awesome to have you here. Before we get our program officially started, I want to ground ourselves in the fact that we're standing on Piscataway land. We know that Indigenous people have been the caretakers of the earth, the activists on the front lines of this climate crisis. We want to pay our due diligence and respect to them. And make sure that we are giving them the respect that they deserve. Indigenous people protect 80% of the world's biodiversity, despite the fact that they, due to colonialism, are a much smaller part of the percentage of the population than that. And as activists, it's our duty to uplift their voices and listen to their wisdom. So we want to ground ourselves in the fact that we are on stolen Indigenous land here today. And now, just before we get started, pop quiz again. What do we want? Climate justice! We want climate justice. Some of you failed the pop quiz. That's okay. We'll try again. What do we want?
Climate justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it!
Shut it down!
If we don't get it!
Shut it down!
If we don't get it!
Shut it down!
Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to introduce Gabrielle,
who is going to sing a song for us. They are a student from DC at Columbia and a leader of DC Teens Action. Please welcome Gabrielle.
Hello. Hi. So I'm going to sing a song called We Rise, which I co-wrote with some members of 0 Hour, another youth climate justice organization. And during the chorus of the song, there's a little call and response. So I'm basically going to sing some verbs. I'm going to point to you guys, and you say, for our future. So I'll do a practice of that before I actually start the song. We rise. For our future. We sing. For our future. We fight. For our future. We strike. For our future. Pretty good. Okay. I've never done this a cappella. Here we go. Our house is burning down. Can you see through our eyes? They say we're doing fine, but we see through the lies. Wade through the water, walk through the fire. We're just trying to survive, but we wanna thrive. We can't keep on sitting by. We rise, we sing, we fight, we strike, we march, we vote, we stand, hand in hand, we rise, we rise. Out from the ashes to the mountain tops we climb. Out from the oil and tar, from near and far we rise. Wade through the water, walk through the fire. We're just trying to survive, but we wanna thrive. We can't keep on sitting by. We rise, we sing, we strike, we fight, we march, we vote, we stand, hand in hand, we rise, we rise. We're gonna clap now. For the air we breathe, we rise. For the water we drink, we rise. For the people we love, we rise. For the places that we call home, we rise. For our future. We sing. For our future. We strike. For our future. We fight. For our future. We march. For our future. We vote. For our future. We stand. For our future. Hand in hand, we rise.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. Let's have another hand for them. Woohoo! Next, I'm excited to invite one of our organizers from Fridays for Future DC, Elson Bankoff. She's a junior in high school at Washington, DC, and she leads her Environmental Action Club at her school. Please welcome Elson.
Hello. Oh my God, this is so cool. We've been organizing for a while. Awesome. I'm a high school lead. I've been leading the high school leads. I see some people I know. Very cool. Thank you for being here. Okay, so, oh, good. All right, just adjusting the mic. Okay, so we're gonna hear a lot of speeches, a lot of things that have been happening the past 2 years, the past year, the past since the Earth has existed. But today I want to talk about something that's been very heavy on everybody's minds and is a lot more connected to fossil fuels and to the climate crisis than we realize, and that is the current human rights violations that are occurring in Ukraine. Since in the past month, there have been 2,571 casualties in the country and 977 people killed, and that's incredibly important that we let that sink in because it's terrible and it should not be happening. But this also isn't the first case of war. It isn't the first case of imperialism. It isn't the first case of power trying to gain more power. And it helps us recognize why Indigenous people are on the forefront of this movement to begin with, because American environmentalism didn't start in the 1960s. American environmentalism didn't start when Rachel Carson released her book. It started in 1492 when Christopher Columbus came on this coast for resources and for power and to exploit the earth, and people fought back. That's when it started. So it's important that we recognize the tie between imperialism and exploitation of the earth and of people and violence. So now that that's clear, let's get specific. There's a pretty distinct connection between fossil fuel dependent countries and aggression. And a lot of you might know this, but before the Ukraine invasion began, Russia was taking almost $500 million every single day from fossil fuel money. That is dark money, and guess what? It's funding the war and directly killing those people. So what now? And I know world leaders have a lot on their plate. I know world leaders are very perplexed, and not perplexed, but sort of just like, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of paradoxical things that are happening right now. And so, trust us, we know. We're all about acting quickly under pressure. It's all we talk about. So here are the two things we need. Number one, this war is messing with the global north, and that's why it's getting attention. So when the global north is under heat, this is our chance. We can afford it. We can afford to switch to renewables. NATO needs to get to renewables, and you can't just fight fire with fire. And that doesn't mean just nukes with nukes. That means you can't fight fossil fuel corruption with more fossil fuels. So NATO, it's time to switch to renewable energy. And number two, the United States, America, this is for you if you're listening, we've learned that oil is a weapon. We've learned that Russia is a petrol state and it's killing people. Their exports are killing Ukrainians and are some of the highest in the world. But guess what? They've only got the silver medal. You know who has gold? We export the most oil in the world, and we're doing it even more right now, and we're giving it to Europe. Why are we doing that when we pledge to be the leading developers of renewable energy, when we pledge to help communities and replenish them and get off of it? Because the truth is that fossil fuels are tied with corrupt leaders because fossil fuels corrupt leaders. And they always cause violence, and it's a toxic relationship, and it's time we break up. Because people move on, and civilians die, and forests burn, and countries fail. So this is our chance to redesign the world and protect each other as infinitely as the sun shines and the wind blows. Thank you.
Funny as I don't know, 222 test.
No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. Make some noise, DC! Maryland! Virginia! Youth and adult allies! My name is Rosie Clemens Cope, and welcome to this international climate strike. When our Earth is under attack, what do we do? I'm 13, and I've been leading Fridays for Future climate actions for the past 4 years. Climate change is causing worldwide devastation. Island nations underwater, climate change fueled forest fires, destroying land and habitats, deadly heat waves, and the 6th mass extinction. Scientists say that the window of opportunity to slash our carbon emissions and save this planet is very short. In about 9 years, climate change will be irreversible, with global warming and ecosystem collapse that is beyond human control. The oceans, we don't have any time to lose. The oceans are warming at the same rate as if 5 Hiroshima bombs were dropped on the ocean every second. The UN's IPCC report says that we need to keep global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius to avoid catastrophe. 1.5 to stay alive! 1.5 to stay alive! 1.5 to stay alive! 1.5 to stay alive! But the Earth has already warmed 1.3 degrees Celsius, and we are passing climate tipping points. That means accelerating deforestation of the Amazon, melting glaciers, and sea level rise over the next 80 years that will put Miami and parts or all of Manhattan, Boston, and Seattle underwater. 600 million people who live along coasts are in danger. But even most adults who live in those places are in deep and dangerous denial. They don't know or care that in Glasgow in November, world leaders decided that 1.5 degrees of warming was not something they were willing to do. This is climate suicide. If we only limit our warming to 2 degrees Celsius, that means up to 23 feet of sea level rise. Miami, gone. Boston, gone. Wake up, politicians. This is not the time for compromise. 1.5 is still alive. 1.5 is still alive. 1.5 is still alive. 1.5 is still alive. We need an emergency transition to renewable energy everywhere in the world. We need a Green New Deal. There is hope. That hope comes from the youth protesting in the streets. That hope comes from our rising political power. That hope comes from our fight. Because working together, we are almost at a social tipping point. The question is, how hard will we fight? We must do what seems impossible. We are saying no more to climate change. No more! No more! We are saying no more to greedy companies. No more! We are saying no more to selfish politicians. No more! This is our future. We will fight. We will win! Now to my sister, Eleanor Clemens-Cope. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil, keep the carbon in the soil. I'm Eleanor Clemens-Cope, Sunrise Rockville Hub Lead, and I'm excited to be out here with you today. So let's start with history. The 2003 Iraq War was an illegal war for oil, based on lies. My uncle fought as a Marine in that senseless war, and he'd say, our nation has never recognized the evil precedent that it set. The invasion was supported by fossil fuel interests, and the fact that President Bush never paid a price for it set the stage for Putin's invasion of Ukraine now. Right. The wars in Iraq and Ukraine make it brutally clear how much our lives and our democracies depend on the sources of our energy. A Ukrainian scientist and co-author of the IPCC report said, climate change and the war in Ukraine have the same cause: fossil fuels. Fossil fuels drive a vicious cycle of war and carbon reliance. When Putin invaded Ukraine, fossil fuel execs and their pet politicians called for more drilling, more fracking, and more burning. But we call BS because fossil fuels aren't the solution, fossil fuels are the problem. And those same oligarchs and their toadies want us to think that governments can't address real problems like climate and wealth inequality. They want us to think that there is no objective reality and no way to address climate justice, racial justice, and economic justice. But we call BS because it is payments for Russian oil and gas that fund war against Ukraine. That's right. And any money spent on fossil fuels is blood money. Fossil fuels mean climate change, destruction of ecosystems, and the destruction of democracy. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
We can and we must fight for both freedom from war and freedom from climate change.
Yes.
But you know what really terrifies our politicians? Our Sunrise Hub made hundreds and hundreds of phone calls for green candidates, and it worked. We called for Jamal Bowman, and he won. We called for John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock, and they won. We have an army of young people ready to go door-to-door campaigning. Any politician who delays the Green New Deal will be defeated because it is time to take out the trash. Things may look bleak
and leaders have given up on 1.5 degrees. But youth have the power to shape our own destiny. Yeah. We have the power! We have the power! We have the power! We have the power! And like the Reverend Otis Moss says, don't you ever forget it. Yes, we can! 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 Yes, we can!
Thank you so much. Can I have another hand for Rosie and Eleanor? Woo-hoo! Next, I'm excited to introduce Hasham Khan. Hasham is a youth activist originally from Azad, Kashmir. He is a senior at Watkins Mill High School and is involved with county and regional advocacy and Muslim groups. Please welcome Hasham.
Thank you. For years now, youth have been the backbone of a movement that is dedicated to saving the only world we have. There is no plan B for humanity, no retreat option to escape if an impending doom is to swallow us all. From selfish politicians to selfish policies, climate change quickly went from a science issue to a justice issue. People will die. Cities will burn, and we will witness destruction like no other. So where will you go? We've marched, we've boycotted, we've screamed at the top of our lungs, screaming for implementing change sooner rather than later. But we've been buried by denial, buried by negligence, and buried by laziness. The same people that we put in power have turned a blind eye to our demands that make this world more sustainable. It is human action that caused this crisis, but it will be human inaction that will seal our fate.
Right.
Today, we stand in front of a building that embodies principles of justice, morality, and most importantly, democracy. But it is the people inside that have let us down. World leaders, you will have no country to run when crops are dried and resource wars become imminent. There will be no more loyal and faithful citizens when temperatures and ocean levels rise, sweeping your people with disease and famine. We, as Americans, have the privilege to ignore crises around the world. But what will we do when destruction arrives at our doorstep? Will we turn to politicians who turned away the chance to make sustainable change? It is up to us, my dear brothers and sisters, to demand and enforce the change we need, because it is this change that will ensure we even have a future.
That's right!
11 years ago, I came to America from Azad Kashmir, a land of mountains and rivers that has been converted into the world's most militarized zone. Did you know that Kashmir is famous for its bright red apples? But we have a saying in Kashmir, that bright red colors comes from the blood of my people being soaked up by the apple trees. Our vibrant tulip gardens became mass graves as a conflict waged on over the past 70 years, a conflict more than 90% of you are unaware about. So while our leaders, the ones that were elected to be the best among us, scramble for political power and money, my people die off from crossfire and warfare. Because, my brothers and sisters, the biggest polluter is war. Human conflict has caused a huge and terrible burden on our earth. And so we must urge to end all wars, from the war in Ukraine, to the war against Palestinians, to the war against women. But most importantly, the war we waged against our own very earth. Thank you.
All right, repeat after me. The earth is on fire. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money.
all get in.
All right, everyone, take stop right here. Thank you. We gotta wait for our supplies crew to get everything together. Can I have the banner come to the front, please? And if anyone else has another banner, bring it to the front of the march. All right, banner to the front. Banner to the front.
Lighting's not hard. Oh, yeah.
Biden, declare a climate emergency. 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 All right, when I say climate, you say justice. Climate. Justice. Climate. Justice. When I say climate, you say justice. Climate. Justice. Climate. Justice. Woo!
Sorry.
All right, here we go, everyone. When I say climate, you say justice. Climate. Justice. Climate. Justice. When I say climate, you say justice. Climate. Justice. Climate. When I say climate, you say justice. Climate. Justice. Climate. Justice. Biden, declare a climate emergency. 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 Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth
is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn.
The earth
is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn.
Ow, you stepped on my shoe. Dude, what are you looking at? Look, I think that's what you
Are rising, and so are we. The oceans are rising, and so are we.
Hurry up. Hey! Ho, ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey! Ho, ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey! Ho, ho! Fossil fuels have got to go!
Hey, can I get in your video?
You want to say something?
Are you making a movie or something?
We're live.
Like a documentary? Listen, this is what I have to say.
We're directing press to other people. He's not with this group.
Oh, alright. I didn't approach it. I just came up. He's not with this group.
What do we want? Climate justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! We are unstoppable! A better world is possible! We are unstoppable! A better world is possible! We are unstoppable! A better world is possible! I said we are unstoppable! A better world is possible! We are unstoppable! A better world is possible! We are unstoppable! A better world is possible! All right, let's go! Green New Deal! Green New Deal! What do we want? A Green New Deal! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? A Green New Deal! When do we want it? Now! A Green New Deal!
The earth is on fire! want no false solutions. We are sick of your pollution.
We don't want no false solutions. We are sick of your pollution.
We don't want no false solutions. We are sick of your pollution.
We are in a climate emergency.
We are in a climate emergency.
Declare a climate emergency.
Biden, 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 declare a climate emergency.
What do we want? Green New Deal. When do we want it?
Now.
Green New Deal. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Hey, hey! Oh, ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey, hey!
Oh ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! These fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! These fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! These fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! These fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Oh ho! These fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey!
Oceans are rising, and so are we!
The oceans are rising, and so are we! The oceans are rising, and so are we! The oceans are rising, and so are we! The oceans are rising, and so are we! The oceans are rising, and so are we!
People, not profit! People, not profit!
People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit! People, not profit!
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what community looks like!
This is what community looks like!
Show me what the youth movement looks like!
This is what the youth movement looks like!
When our Earth is under attack, what do we do? When our Earth is under attack, what do we do? When our Earth is under attack, what do we do? When our Earth is under attack, what do we do?
I want to interview people tonight.
Never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
You can't stop the revolution. We are the climate solution. You can't stop the revolution.
We are the climate solution.
You can't stop the revolution.
We are the climate solution.
You can't stop the revolution.
We are the climate solution.
We are the climate solution.
We are the climate solution.
Ain't no power like the power in the people, 'cause the power in the people don't stop. Say what? Say
So it probably won't matter, but just an interesting thought. There's a van full of MPD basically outside the Trump Hotel. This is obviously not a confrontational demonstration at all, but as we're passing the Trump Hotel, this is the most cops I've seen. Still not many, but a handful of MPD here specifically for the Trump International Hotel.
emergency.
Human need, not corporate greed.
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 Human need, not corporate greed. Human need, not corporate greed. Human need, not corporate greed. The earth is on fire.
We don't need our money, let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money, let these corporations burn.
The earth is on fire.
We don't need your money, let these corporations burn.
The earth is on fire.
We don't need your money, let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money, let these corporations burn.
The earth is on fire.
We don't need your money, let these corporations burn.
Climate change is not a lie. Do not let our planet die. Climate change is not a lie. Do not let our planet die. Climate change is not a lie. Do not let our planet die. Climate change is not a lie. Do not let our planet die. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. The earth. The earth. The earth is on fire. The earth wants that money. Let these corporations burn. The earth. The earth. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. The earth is on fire. We don't need your money. Let these corporations burn. Carbon in the soil. No more coal. No more oil. Keep the carbon in the soil. No more coal. No more oil. Keep the carbon in the soil. 2, 4, 6, 8. Keep the earth off the lid. 2, 4, 6, 8. Keep the earth off the lid. 2, 4, 6, 8. Keep the earth off the lid. 4, 6, 8. Keep the earth off the lid. It's the voice of my nation. Keep the earth off the lid. Save the earth, it's not too late. Not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8. Save the earth, it's not too late. 2, 4, 6, 8. Save the earth, it's not too late. People, united.
Yo, FBI.
United. Save the earth, it's not too late. People, united. Save the earth, it's not too late. We'll never be defeated. We'll never be defeated. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Yeah, here we go. The earth. The earth. The earth is on fire.
God bless all of you. We love you too. Hey, we parade for your freedom. We parade for your freedom. One time.
So there was some anxiety ahead of this that people doing the convoy thing, the anti-mandate like convoy into DC would interact with them somehow. That's the first example I've seen of that, and it was just one small vehicle. That interaction didn't amount to too much, but we'll see if anything like that happens again. That's always the shot on this spot, isn't it?
Yeah, here's your bonus.
Oh, you're having fun.
It's not touching.
Is that an earplug or a headphone?
It's a sound bed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you can hear stuff that you can hear.
When the earth we need is under attack, what do we do? Rise up, fight back. The earth we need is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back.
So there's no sound distortion.
That's cool.
It's a punch muffled, like,
What do we do?
not like.
I've seen those for shooting ranges. I haven't heard of that for like other everyday use.
Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
Yeah, I put the camera on.
Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Green New
Right.
Deal!
When do we want it?
Yeah, that's
What do
cool.
we want?
I might be able to hear it.
When do we want it? What do we want?
Green New Deal!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
Crashing into the barrier.
These fossil fuels have got to go! Hey, hey! don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power in the power of the youth, the power of the youth don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power in the power of the youth, the power of the youth don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power in the power of the youth, the power of the youth don't stop. Ain't no power in the power of the youth, the power of the youth don't stop. Ain't no power in the power of the youth, the power of the youth don't stop. Say what?
Okay, so as we're approaching the Capitol right now, two things stand out to me. One is that I do see one vehicle with the flags indicating that they're part of the truckers convoy thing. It looks to me, it's a little hard to, obviously you're not going to be able to see it from here, but looking this direction, there's one vehicle that looks like they're trying to turn toward this and that the cop's not letting them. Also, there are a lot more U.S. Capitol Police posted up next to the Capitol that you're about to see.
Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are
Did you see that convoy guy? Yeah. He's like trying to turn over here. Yeah, there's one there. He tried to turn and come over to here.
We are unstoppable. Another world is
And the cops.
We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are
It's already.
We are unstoppable. Another world is possible.
I think it's gonna happen.
Another world is possible. Believe it. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. 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 Where do we want it? 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 Simon says keep right, and we are gonna go. Come follow me, everyone follow me. Where do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? Justice! Now! What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Y'all are easy. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Green Deal. Now. Do you want to put it like on the side? Now. Green Deal. Now. Wait. Shut it down. Shut it down. I don't know how else we're gonna get through it. There's not even a ramp here. Let's go to the next one.
I mean, what are they going to do?
What?
Never mind.
Okay, thank you.
This is what democracy looks like. 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 over profit! People 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 over property! Water over oil! 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 Okay, everyone, can you all listen to me? I need you to come over here and face the Capitol. Come over here, where my finger's pointing. Come over here and face the Capitol so we can have some more amazing speakers. Thank you. In front of me. Right over here. Can I have the banner from this way? Come here. Thank you. Woohoo! Over here on the glass. Face the Capitol. Thank you. Okay, thank you all so much. What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! Hold up, what do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! Thank you guys so much. That was amazing. I'm super excited now. I'm going to introduce one of our organizers, Anna, who's going to give you a speech. And yeah, here she is. Woohoo! Okay, hello everyone. My name is Anna and I'm so excited to be here today. I want to start by saying thank you 1,000 times for coming out. Thank you for putting your time and your energy and your effort into marching and chanting and yelling with us to make sure that our voices Anna, talking to the mic thing! What? Talking to the mic thing! Better? The other one. Oh my god. Yo, you got it, girl. We want to hear Anna! Woo! Yeah, this has to, you guys move it back? No, I need to be in front of the speaker.
Hey! Oh my god, that's so much better. Hi guys! Alright, first of all, I want to thank you 1,000 times for coming out. Thank you! Thank you for putting your time and your effort and your energy into marching and chanting and yelling with us to make sure that your voices are heard by the people up on that hill. Thank you! And just to lay down the line once again about why we're here, well, there are people up on that hill that refuse to include us in their hunt for political power. There are people up on that hill who would much rather make a buck for themselves and secure another term in office than even consider the lives of their constituents. And there are people up on that hill who knowingly utilize deceitful, discriminatory narratives in order to distract from the detrimental impacts that they have on our communities every day with their political actions and personal investments. By being here today, you become a part of one of the most important fights of our lifetime. It's a community fight against a global system of oppression that is trying to rip away our futures for the financial benefit of the elite. So thank you for all being here. I want you all to remember that you are the people who have the power, even if you're not the lawmakers, because you are the people with the power to change our dominant narrative about us, the hippies, versus them, the sensible. Because what we need to do now is unite the people, the vast majority of this country who is not financially or politically elite, on the common ground of a stable, living earth. The existence of our futures does not have to be a left versus right issue, but But the people up on that hill have chosen to manipulate their followers into believing that somehow we're the bad guys, even though they're the ones investing in dirty, dirty energy that's gonna come around to killing all of us. I mean, it's gonna kill them just as much as it's going to kill us. But somehow, through anti-science propaganda, scapegoating, fear-mongering, and objective lies, the conservative elite has truly convinced so much of the working class that things like subsidizing green energy, building a robust social safety net, and redistributing wealth will hurt them. No, those things help all of us. Yes. And once we convince them that we are standing for their futures too, well, we have every chance of winning. So just remember that we, the people, have tremendous power in numbers. And united, we stand. Divided, we fall. Out here today, we are teachers and students, baristas and busboys. We are truckers and attorneys and dancers and fashion designers and business owners and custodians. We are everything under the sun. And we all have the common interest of living the rest of our lives supported by our government and thus our planet. So keep coming out. Keep fighting, keep yelling, keep making noise and disrupting the status quo, because you are all doing good, amazing work here today, and none of us can survive without it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Let's give her another round of applause. Next up, super excited to introduce our next speaker, Zara Child. Zara is a member of the Sunrise Rockville Hub and a sophomore at BCC. Welcome, Zara.
Thank you for coming out here today, because we are running out of time. I was told that people got wiser as they grew older. But when I look at the people who have turned their backs on this generation and who have contributed to this crisis, I see people who are older than all of us. It is not okay. The youth understands the severity of climate change and the moral obligation that we have to stand up for our planet. In 1988, James Hansen, a top climate scientist at NASA, told members of Congress that climate change was happening and caused by humans. Over 30 years later, politicians have failed to deliver on their promises to address this crisis, and that is not okay. This destruction was caused by corporations who decided to seed doubt around science and facts. Politician inaction and corporations' greed are why we are out here today. It is a mass extinction. Yes. Some say the climate crisis is approaching. It is here right now. The evidence could not be more clear. We are seeing catastrophic damage all over the globe. Millions have been displaced because of this crisis that politicians do not want to face. They have failed us, they have failed our generation, and they have failed the generations to come. Yeah. We are tired of watching the adults responsible for this mess choose billions of dollars over billions of human lives. That's right. We will not back down until politicians shape up, stand up, or step aside. Politicians, it's time to end fossil fuel projects. People over profit. Stop funding fossil fuel projects for the people and the planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zara. Let's have another round of applause for Zara. Our next speaker is Shreya Reddy. Shreya is a junior at Centennial, and she's also a member of the Sunrise Movement in Howard County. Please give it up for Shreya. Woohoo!
I would like to start by apologizing for my voice, which I've lost on the way here. So I'm just going to start with a little personal story. I have lived in Maryland for nearly 12 years of my life, and I have grown up there to see floods that have decimated Old Ellicott City, where I live. I've seen my friends in Baltimore get sent home from schools because of the exceptionally high temperatures that they face in the summer. I saw the Chesapeake Bay face warmer temperatures, and the area face long periods of extreme weather conditions. I have grown up to see my friends seeking shelter in 2018 when these heavy floods destroyed their houses, destroyed restaurants, antique shops, and much more in the historical area. I have grown up watching students take action, cleaning up trash around local parks, organizing strikes, participating in conferences and committees from their counties in an attempt to improve the quality of their lives. But the main thing I have seen is that I have grown up with a strong group of individuals who, even as children, have put more effort into mitigating our issues than many adults have. These large corporations focus so heavily on profits, on this monetary production, and they completely disregard the environmental effects. They have left it up to the future generations, the many of us, the 16-year-olds, to solve the issues that they themselves have created. And these companies especially have caused havoc for communities of color. Black people in Baltimore are struggling from the respiratory issues that have been caused by the sickening air quality. They have faced excessively high temperatures in the summer and continual floods followed by periods of drought. The BIPOC communities that have taken these hits with the climate crisis need our help. So this intersectionality that there is with the climate crisis is visible, and the climate crisis hurts the minorities the most. Without providing climate equity, we will not and cannot have an equal world. When I visit my family in India, I observe the increased levels of pollution. So like roads are filled with the carbon emissions that create thick, heavy fogs, and people just walk through them. Even before the pandemic, people in the area were wearing masks, not because of the fact that there were maybe diseases or things like that, but because of the fact that carbon emissions were so high that it was infecting people. The issues that we are facing here are not small, and their importance increases as our dire situation worsens, and we still continue to see a lack of progress. We are here today to ask President Biden to stand with us on our demands. We are asking him to stick with his changes in the way that we approach the climate crisis. By striking here today, we are asking him to stick to those promises that he had made. Last year, Biden promised that by 2030, we would cut U.S. emissions by 50%. But these mitigative efforts are not visible. And we want those changes to be made. We want those emissions to be cut. We want those corporations to be held accountable. In a climate emergency like the one we are in now, there is no better time for the government to place emphasis on renewable energy and not on fossil fuels.
Right.
With his support, we can make progress towards an issue that has affected people around the nation and even around the world. We need changes not only to help the individuals in Baltimore who are struggling to get access to clean air. We need it not only to help the people in different states who experience the same or worse conditions, but we need the change not only to help the communities of color that face these climate injustices that are so heightened, but we need it to we need the change in America to set a precedent for global change and to allow us to have a world and a future that we can live in. We must prioritize the safety and well-being of the people before we can support corporations that are simply looking to generate more money. Thank you.
Congress, pass a Green New Deal! 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 Thank you. Our last speaker is Kennedy Smith. Kennedy is a member of the Sunrise Movement at American University and a freshman at AU. Welcome, Kennedy.
Hello, I'm so excited and so inspiring to be speaking in front of you guys. So, as we finish up, I just want to give a little message of hope for today. So, My father and I share frequent conversations around the dinner table. Some nights it's whatever was on the news that day. Other nights it's aliens. It's become a trend for both of us to proclaim, especially in the face of bad news, that it doesn't matter anyway, because climate change will get us in the end. And like many of you here, I am concerned and bewildered by this ability to just shrug off doomsday. But if our being here and those conversations with my dad mean anything, it's that we don't have to live in fear of the future. Our entire lives, we've been faced with too many choices. I know I'm not the only one who's ever been deciding what to watch on Netflix and having faced over 1,000 options, deciding to not watch anything at all. This may seem trivial, but these constant choices we have to make are the ways that corporations trick us into believing that there is no other way. This false sense of choice binds us to believing what is killing our planet is good for us. And now they're asking us to make a choice about our future. As a Black queer woman, I've seen firsthand how corporations have tricked my community by profiting off of us and giving nothing back. This greed doesn't just hold my community hostage, but all of ours. However, I also know that humanity is resilient. Over these past 2 years, I've been met with more kindness and compassion I previously thought I would ever receive. Whether it's a 1 million man protest over the killing of George Floyd, helping each other stay healthy during the pandemic, voting out one of the worst presidents in history, or us together today, our local DC Fridays for Future, marching in the streets, we will fight against what harms us. This tells me that all we truly need to know is that humanity is not the problem when it comes to climate change, but our culture of overconsumption. It's reported that 45% of global greenhouse gas emissions come solely from the production of goods. And now this is not to say that my Starbucks drink is going to cause the end of the world. This is another myth that they tell us to stay compliant in our current situation of unsustainability. We have replaced living our lives and nature with the idea of living our lives through social media, access clothing, 24-hour convenience stores, not because it is better, but because we are told there is no other way. Reject their comfort. Don't settle for convenience. Don't lose your humanity to replications of life. When we connect with others and live our lives for ourselves, consumption is no longer in control. So I want you all to look beside you, look at one another, assess your lives and how you've been living. And finally, know that no matter what the future holds, all of us will face it together. And for that simple reason, it will be better than you can ever imagine.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Kennedy. Woohoo! Okay, to close us out, I'm going to introduce Iris and Anna to sing us a song. And they're going to teach you guys the song. Okay, give it up for them.
A beautiful song called Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around. So it goes, so it's like, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on striking, keep on fighting, building a brand new world. And then for each of the different times we sing it, we're gonna do Ain't Gonna Let Nobody, and then Ain't Gonna Let Injustice, and then Ain't Gonna Let Big Oil, and then we're gonna finish out with Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Us Around. Ready? Are you ready? Ready? 5, 6, 7. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around. Turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on striking, keep on fighting, building a brand new world. Ain't gonna let injustice turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let injustice turn me around. Keep on striking, keep on fighting, building a brand new world. Ain't gonna let big oil turn me around. Turn me around. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let big oil turn me around. Keep on striking. Keep on fighting. Building a brand new world. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. Turn us around. Turn us around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. Keep on striking. Keep on fighting. Building a brand new world.
We want to recognize that song came from the civil rights movement, and that the protests we do today stand on the shoulders of the civil rights movement and so many protests that have come before us. We would not be here today if it was not for the civil rights movement, if it was not for so many of the other movements, if it was not for BLM being in the streets in 2020 and continuing to be today. And so for that, I want to say, to remind ourselves, no justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
If you're not already, definitely check out some of the amazing groups doing Black Lives Matter and other liberation and solidarity work in DC. Those groups are super important. And also, please continue to follow us and our other environmental group comrades. If you want to DM us on Instagram or whatever social media you're on, shoot us an email if you want to get involved. Keep an eye out for future messages in your inbox or on your social media feed of what we're doing next. We're going to have plenty of more actions coming up, as well as supporting actions that other groups are organizing.
Yeah, and we're gonna finish by taking a picture with you all. So if you could get behind the banners, we're just gonna get some great shots of us with the Capitol in the background. And we're gonna chant. So banners can just stay. Yeah. All right. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Hey, if you have a banner, please move your banner to the front. Banners to the front, and if you are in front of a banner, get behind it. All right, everyone, looking amazing. If there's someone shorter behind you, let them in front of you.
What do we want? A Green New Deal! When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
A Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
A Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
A Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
A Green New Deal!
When do we want it?
Now!
Hey, hey!
Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go!
Are rising, and so are we!
The seas are rising, and so are we! The seas are rising, and so are we! The seas are rising, and so are we!
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy this beautiful day. Woohoo!
Please keep an eye out as you are leaving. We know that there are some unfriendly characters.
Alrighty, I think that's going to be a wrap on this event.
If you have a banner, please hold on to it.
As just a quick summary, they marched from the White House to here at the U.S. Capitol. They coordinated with police. They had a permit for the whole way. No confrontation, really, no arrests or anything like that. And I would say that the majority of them seem to be, high school groups that had assembled. as well as some folks from university. But emphasizing like kind of the youth element of Climate Strike, this is also sort of related to, there are several other actions taking place across the world, and it's basically related to, if you're familiar with Greta Thunberg's climate organization. So with that, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will have some HD footage out and some photos as well from this demonstration.